Idaho Kayak Bass Fishing, or the IKBF for short, had their third tournament this last weekend at Lake Coeur d'Alene. The season's halfway over now. They only got 2 more tournaments left, so the season is coming down to an end. AY points are starting to matter, and everything's starting to add up. Lake Coeur d'Alene is located in the western Idaho. It's kind of near the border of eastern Washington. Spokane's an hour and something a minute drive, I believe. Last time I drove it. It's a massive body of water, 26 miles long and over 135 miles of shoreline. That's a giant lake. There's plenty of space for the 33 competitors that signed up for the event. Let's just go ahead and jump right into these results. Today's weather report brought to you by Windows. Look outside. The weather. It was a perfect fishing day. The weather started off with nice cool temperature, 64 degrees, and it was sunny by 9 a.m. It was a comfortable 73 degrees with a slight breeze, 6 miles an hour. I'm not sure which direction. They don't tell me these things. The high for the day was predicted to be a warmer 95 degrees. It's pretty nice, man, considering the last tournament at Lake Wauula was a windstorm and a pretty nasty one. This is quite the change was needed. A lot of fish were caught too, so we're going to get into that right after this midday update. Midday update. By 9 a.m., a total of 70 fish have been submitted to the Tourney X leaderboard. 6 competitors have all caught in their limits. And one competitor was already at the 90-inch mark. That's kind of wild. By 9, that was a good start for sure. Dan Zimmershed started the morning off with a giant lead and a total of 96 inches. Skylar Talbot was behind him in second with 81.25 inches. That's quite the gap. And then Ryan Flory was in third with 79.5 inches. Dean Hills, who had already won a tournament this season, was sitting in sixth place with a total of 76 inches. Dan put himself in a great position to take the win. I mean, that's going to be tough to beat for sure. Starting off the morning over 90s, 96? 96 inches, just 4 away from the 100 mark. That's tough to see, even if you're a competitor watching the leaderboard. That's got you for sure, man. And we're going to just go ahead and jump into the big bass. Bass so big. Belly rub. Garrett Harrison took home the big fish pot at $349. He caught a giant 20-inch smallmouth. According to the Tourney X leaderboard, it was done in the afternoon too, so that's quite impressive as well, as the temperatures were heating up to catch a 20-inch fish. It's kind of wild. Ivan Cruz caught one that was bigger, 20 3/4, but I would assume that he just opted out of the big bass pot instead, man. You never know, though. You never know when that giant fish is within your reach. Crazier things have happened for sure. For sure, but yeah, good job, Garrett, man. I know it's not his first one either, this season even. And that fish helped him place in the top 10 too. So he came from nowhere. He wasn't even in the top 10 going into the midday. So that fish helped for sure. And brought home some money. It's a good day. The top 10. Moves were made in the second half of the day for this tournament. Dean Hills would fall a few spots back and finish the day in 10th with a total of 78 3/4 inches. There's another impressive tournament finish for him. I know he's been fishing for a long time. It's like his, second or third one on a kayak, so he's starting off pretty hot. Robert Motherwell would gain some traction in the second half and find himself in 9th place with a total of 80.5 inches. Butch Delaney made his way into the top 10 with a total of 83 1/4 inches. He was just outside the top 10 in the midday update. TJ Osonicki fell back 2 spots and finished 7th with a total of 83 3/4 inches. Sorry for roughing your name up. Ryan Flory would finish in 6th with 86 inches. He cooled up quite a few inches in the second half, but would still fall back 3 positions. It was a competitive day of fishing for sure. I mean, people moving forward, moving back. It's just a tough day. It's not a tough day. It's a great day of fishing, but it's a tough day for tournament-wise to finish up in the top 10. For sure. Skylar Talbot would finish in 5th place with a total of 86 3/4 inches. And then the big bass winner, Garrett Harrison, was outside the top 10 for the midday update, and he finished his way up into 4th place with a total of 89 inches. Almost the entire top 10 out over 80 inches at this point. That's kind of wild to see, too. Michael Mumford made some moves and landed in 3rd place with a total of 89 1/4 inches. He was also outside the top 10. His largest was a 19 3/4 inch smallmouth, which was the dominant fish of this event for sure. I believe it was pretty close to all, if not all. I don't remember off the top of my head. Ivan Cruz finished in second place with a total of 94 inches. He made over the 90-inch mark on a day that fish were definitely biting, and he needed to find the largest fish. He ended up in second place. Ivan Cruz. He's fished a Washington event this year as well. Lake Whatcom, I believe. Finished in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. And then Dan Zimmershed, he would keep his lead for the entire day, and he would go on to win the event with a total of 96 inches. No coals in the second half. He had a great morning, though, right? He was finding them all. His largest fish was 96 inches. It's not bad at all. Dan's also finished third place in the event number 1 Lake Lowell. And he had another top 5 finish for IKBF in the KF&W event, the Lake Waula event. So he set himself up pretty high up in the AOI standings, I would imagine. I haven't seen the scores, so. And again, I could do the math. I just really don't want to mess that up. But congratulations to everyone. That was good. That was a good tournament, man, for sure. That was fun to keep track of and watch as it was going on. There's a lot of fish caught. That was a lot of fish. A lot of upgrades. Just good times, man. Good times. The WKBF does have an event this weekend at Lake Osoyoos. That's going to be a good one, too, man. Lots of smallmouth hammers are headed up that way to attend that. That's going to be a good one for sure. And then after that, you got the OKBF in Oregon going to Prineville Reservoir. That'll be a good one, too. Both of them going to be pretty warm. Very warm. I mean, I live in Eastern Washington. It's been over 100 for the last week, it seems. It's been crazy, man. But the smallmouth bite's been good. If you look at Coeur d'Alene, this last tournament, man, they're fighting, biting, whatever you want to call it. Doing all of it. And that's going to be it for sure.